the heavy metals absorbing your system, and knowledge is power. I like to say, I'm going to say it later as well, sorry to be repetitive, if we can't immediately change what's outside of ourselves, like the chemtrails, it's going to take some time. Eventually we'll be able to bring the awareness to a level where consciousness is risen and we'll be able to do something about this. But right now, because we can't immediately change what's outside of us, at least we can change what's inside of us. And all of us can be a little healthier, even myself. I mean, especially myself. That involves eating better, taking better care of yourself, and I can't stress enough saunas. Give your body the opportunity to detox these things. You know, I'd hate for anybody here to end up with Alzheimer's, and there are ways to help get these things out of our system before they accumulate too much to having adverse reactions. So there's that. Thanks for listening. Does everybody have a badge? I see people out there not wearing badges. We've got the lovely Kath who's going to be speaking today, and she's got some badges for everybody. Also, a gentleman talked to me earlier about the patterns in the sky because he's done a lot of research. And he says, and he showed me, that on the edge, on the edge of cold fronts, that they'll come out and spray chemtrails. And this is to either direct the cold front or move it through faster or to heat it up or to steer it. But the chemtrails are especially involved in weather engineering. And so when you first learn about this, there's a couple ways you can first learn about chemtrails. Someone can come up to you and talk to you about it. And this is the importance of being the seed planter, the bringer of truth. Because us, with the knowledge, we have to pass the knowledge on, but in a grounded, responsible fashion. It is up to us to meet people where they're at. And oftentimes we just need to talk about there's weather engineering, because that's one of the primary aspects of chemtrails is weather engineering, weather warfare. Landman, 1954, Landman was flooded by the RAF, Royal Air Force, and just over a dozen people were killed, and they admitted, oops, we made it flood. We did it on purpose. It's in my movie Frankenstein. It's very well documented. In that same year, 1954, there was this London fog that killed like 12,000 people. You guys know about this? And it was when they were tampering with the weather. And I'm based on my research, it seems like that an inversion effect was created where the substances being sprayed in the skies to experiment with created an inversion effect where the smog and the chemicals being sprayed came down and cooled at ground level and literally killed thousands of people in 1954. It's been happening for a long time. Also, Project Popeye. Popeye is on Wikipedia. So people that like deny these things, it's so easy to just pull it up. Oh, do you not know about Popeye? Well, in Popeye, the weather was weaponized in the Vietnam War. Well, war was never declared, so it's basically Vietnam conflict, but that's another story. So in the Vietnam War in the 60s, Agent Orange was sprayed, which was a defoliant and herbicide. They were trying to like kill vegetation and whatnot, and it hurt a lot of innocent civilians. So aerosolized chemicals were sprayed, but also using their cloud seeding technology, which a big aspect of the cloud seeding technology, which is very fascinating, is they use frozen carbon dioxide, which is dry ice. So concentrated carbon dioxide is sprayed in the atmosphere. I'll repeat that. Concentrated carbon dioxide is sprayed in the atmosphere by our governments to tamper with the weather. And then they say, oh look, there's carbon dioxide, it's your problem, it's your fault, it's because you drive around your cars, we're gonna put in the ULEZ, and we're gonna make you drive in circles to get to your neighborhoods because the driving is bad, and you can only drive this amount. Oh, if your car's, you know all about this. Not to mention we exhale carbon dioxide. And at the end of the day, carbon dioxide isn't even the problem. Carbon dioxide is only 0.08% of the atmosphere. 0.08%. So you add 0.2%, now we're at 0.1%. So it's not even 0.1% of the atmosphere's carbon dioxide. It is not even the main greenhouse gas. It is not the problem. It has been demonized because it gives us life. It could quadruple, and it would be a boon for agriculture. It would be fine. If the carbon dioxide levels got cut in half on Earth, we would likely all perish. So cutting back on the carbon dioxide is not a solution. And when people learn about the weaponization of the weather back in the 60s and the 50s, all the way back to the film Frankenstein that I created, it starts with historical footage from the 1920s. By the time the film gets to the 1950s, it is self-evident that they've been sharpening their tools and figuring out how to engineer the weather. So if they've been doing it for that long, it's not a stretch to realize that it's still ongoing. So when you meet someone, or you're talking to someone new about this, and you're telling them about the engineering of the weather, and that's what chemtrails' primary agenda is, that's palpable, that's reasonable, it makes sense. They can look it up, they can look up the patents. Oh, the patents start in the 1890s? Well, that's really curious. Okay? Another way to go about it is you meet someone, or you're talking to someone for the first time, and you say, oh, they're spraying the skies with poison, and they're killing everybody, and there's nanoparticulates in the sprays. That's not a very grounded way to go about it. They're going to dismiss you. Okay? Is that a piece of the puzzle? Quite possibly, yes. Most even likely, yes. Like oftentimes they'll spray stuff where I live that I think is lithium, and I'm all drowsy and I can't think straight. But I'm not going to go tell that to someone that's new to the situation. It's about being the proper seed planter and owning our part in this awakening, because the powers that be, they rely on us being labeled as crazy conspiracy theorists. But in reality, they're selling us geoengineering as a solution while telling us that chemtrails is a crazy conspiracy theory. How does that make any sense? It doesn't. So that's what I've got to say about that. I'm expecting the DJ to come soon and to play us some music while we get going, but this has been a very long mic check. I guess I'll just keep on talking. I've been on a bunch of podcasts recently. Sheep Farm is a really great one, and one of the hosts of Sheep Farm will be here soon. His name is Chris, and God bless them for helping get the word out, and that's really great. But really, podcasts are great, documentaries are great, but we can all play our part. I know I'm going to say this. We can all play our part by planting the seeds properly and having these important discussions with our friends, our families, and our peers. Okay? And if they don't believe in it, plant the seed, check back next week, see if it's germinating. If they don't believe it, plant the seed, check back next year. If you do it in a grounded fashion, they'll look at the skies. That's all you want out of the people that are deniers. Because we were all deniers once. We didn't wake up, we didn't come out of the womb with a chemtrail back on. I mean, we just didn't. At least I didn't. You know? And it takes some time. And it takes like an aha moment when you really see it. My personal story is I was working on a farm in Northern California, which that's where I'm from the West Coast. I grew up in Virginia, which is the East Coast of the United States. I live in the West Coast of the United States. And I come here to host a rally, and we'll talk about that later. I'm here because this is where the awake people live. This is where the spark resides for humanity. But that's part of my speech that I've got memorized, so I don't want to try to give you my speech yet. Not yet. So anyways, I was working on a farm, and we had 3 years of drought. We hadn't had the rain that we usually get in Northern California, which in Northern California you get a seasonal deluge that starts in around October and it rains through March. It just keeps raining because of the jet stream coming off the Pacific Ocean, and it just rains. Like Seattle, gloomy weather. This is where like different musicians come from and talk about the gloomy weather, what have you. So I was working on the farm that I worked on, growing potatoes and pumpkins and learning about organic farming, which I highly recommend because this is an important piece of the puzzle. As our world changes around us, we're going to have to learn how to take care of ourselves or bow to the system and get a digital ID, which will come with a lot of different things that we aren't going to want. So we're going to want to learn to take care of ourselves. Hey, Sophie's here. Hey. So, where's that gentleman that was going to talk about, do you want to talk? While I'm already talking about this? So, it's important for us to see where the future is heading, okay? Think about it. If you're here today, you likely know where we're at and where we could be going. I'm just going to talk for a minute now. I'll give you the mic. Okay. No, come join me. What's your name again?
Warren Jolly.
And where'd you come from?
I come from Cleethorpes in northeast Lincolnshire.
Awesome. So, understanding where this is all headed, Agenda 2030, the New World Order, all these different interwoven pieces of this puzzle. Okay? Hey, you're here. Come on up. So, what is it going to be like for the future of our children? Are we going to just have them have a digital ID, digital currencies, and then have everything controlled? Or are we going to see the writing on the wall and think for ourselves and plan accordingly? We have a choice. And this is Louise Thornton. Hey, Louise. Louise is going to be speaking as well, and I'm really excited that she's here. Last year she was blonde, and now she looks different, but I'm so excited that you dyed your hair. Don't go anywhere. I'll just hand it off to you in a second. Are you good with that? Okay, cool. So, community resilience. We all have to think outside the box. We have to think about what the future is going to be like for our children. And Warren, right? Warren has approached me, and we met last year. And for those of you that have come 2 years in a row, thank you so much. Warren's one of those people, and God bless you for coming twice. And Warren has some information for us that he's going to go ahead and share. And I think it's really important.
Thanks very much, Matt. We're all aware of what's going on in the world and the doom and gloom. I'm sure many of us here are in various